Hey friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm making a card for the Make the Cards challenge this week. And this week we have a sketch challenge. It's something different every week. So I'm using a stencil that I got a couple of weeks ago from Sassy Crafty. And if you haven't checked out Sassy Crafty, do check them out. They have the most amazing stencils and fantastic stamp sets. And I just love them. This stencil is called Snowballs, and I didn't see snowballs when I looked at this. I saw retro 60s backgrounds in fabulous color, so I just had to have this stencil. So this is a 6x6 stencil, and I'm making a slimline card, and you can see how easily I can just match the pattern and turn this 6x6 inch stencil into a stencil that works beautifully with my slim lines. Now I am being a little lazy here. I didn't tape it down, and you can see in my final card that shame on me for not taping it down because I didn't have it lined up perfectly. There was a little overlap. I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, take the time to tape it down. So that was my background. That's going to be my background. I have that cut at 3.5 by 8.5. I'm going to trim that down later to 3.5 by 8 1/4. So I grabbed a piece of white cardstock scrap paper and I pulled out the Love Your Look stamp set from Sassy and Crafty. This is an adorable stamp set. It's all very playful kittens with very cute sentiments. Some of Beth's designs are really cute critters. Some are what she calls her Sassy Girl collection. They're powerful women. I love them. I love her sentiments are amazing. But I feel like she does a really good job creating very inclusive stamp sets and sentiments. I just think they're amazing. You can see here I used my Misty with my Maker Forte Smusher tool. It's one of my favorite new tools. And I feel like I'm getting great images every time I stamp. So, So I colored all these in. I'm not going to show all of these. I'll just show this one. For this one, I used YR27, YR24, YR23, and YR21, and I left him kind of plain. Some of the other ones, I put a little bit of, spots or markings to make them look like different kinds of cats. And I used a variety of colors. On some, I used W10, W8, W6, and W4 for darker kittens, and then I did a bunch with W5, W3, W1, and W0 for lighter ones, and I did a couple in this color combination. I used a couple of pinks. I think that I used RV02 and RV91 for the pinks. I just pulled two pinks out, a darker and a lighter. And then I used B00 for the eyeglass glass parts. For the frames, I used purple. All the cats got purple frames. And I believe I used BV08 and BV02. And I pulled out some BV00 and I just flicked that across the blue on the eyeglass part just to give it to look like it was reflecting light, basically. So I just swept it across with the edge of my brush, and I just had a lot of fun coloring these. It went pretty quick because they're not very big, and it was kind of fun to experiment and make them all different. So I did experiment with giving them different patterns on their fur, and you can see that here in the completed ones. And Beth does not sell coordinating dies, so I cut these out with my brother Scan and Cut. I love that machine. So worth the investment. I feel like I'm saving so much money not buying coordinating dies. Instead, I can spend my money on dies, cover dies, or really unique dies, and I have my stash of shaped dies, you know, like the stacking circles and all of that stuff. I really like that. Those are really versatile. You can do so much with them. So I popped these up on foam. Now the card sketch calls for, it had circles, little circles that meandered down the right-hand side of the card. I tipped the card 90 degrees, the card sketch 90 degrees, and I made my cats kind of meander across the bottom of my card. So I just played with some cardstock to see what color I liked the best, and I really liked this green. So I cut a piece of this green to 8.5 by 4 inches, and that's going to be the size of my card. My white card base is cut at 8 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 inches. So the green will completely cover the top of it, and you won't see any white around the edge. So I'm just going to glue all of these panels together. Now I'm going to put links to the Sassy and Crafty stamp and die set that I use, but definitely check them out. Like, browse while you're there and see all the great things they have, because if you love to use stencils like I do, I feel like stencils are one of the best values for products that I use. And I love doing all kinds of stencil techniques, even though all I did was stencil today. I have a lot of stenciling videos doing all kinds of techniques. So I'm using that Tombow sanded eraser there to clean up the edge of my cardstock, because even though that's a new blade on my trimmer, I'm getting raggedy edges. So I think I'll just switch out the blade again, even though that's brand new. But that Tombow sanded eraser removes ink smudges, and it does a good job cleaning up edges like that. You can use like a nail file also. As I was saying before, though, if you love stencils, check out the Sassy and Crafty shop, because she has really unique designs. Like, they're not like the same thing that everybody else has. So I really like some of the really interesting things she's come up with. And they're great for mixed media, so you can do all kinds of things. Check out my YouTube channel for more ideas on how to use stencils in different ways. Like, there's so many things you can do. There's such a good value for your money. So this had a lot of sentiments in it, this stamp set, and these are so adorable. I loved the "You're so purty." I just thought it was cute. So I picked that one. You can see I stamped that in my Maker Forte Remarkable Eclipse black ink. It's my new favorite black ink. And I always use my stamp positioner to do that. I do love a Misty. Whatever stamp positioner you have and love, that's the one you use. So I'm putting these really nice thin foam strips on the back of this. And I believe those are from Therese. Scrapbook.com just came out with those also. So there are a couple different places you can get those. So I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to add, I'm just going to add a few crown jewel gems to this. And those are another Maker Forte product. So I'm just putting all my layers together with this Tombow liquid glue. Lately, I feel like I can't get anything straight. So instead of using the double-sided tape I usually use, I'm using this particular liquid glue because it gives me a lot of wiggle room time. So this is my favorite tool. This is the On the Hook tweezer from Maker Forte, and I don't know how well you can see the hook on the end of that as I'm using it, but that makes it so easy to pick up those teeny little crown jewel gems. I love bling on my cards, and those tweezers are the bomb. I'm not kidding you. They're amazing. So I put a bunch of those. This is the bittersweet orange color. It's kind of a neon deep orange color, and I'm using the Maker Forte magic wand here. That jewel picker on the end is amazing. The other end of that tool is a craft pick. I'm adding a drop shadow with W3 and W1. I kind of wish I'd done it with W5 and W3 just to make it a little bit darker, so you could actually get the shadow effect better with that really colorful background. So that's going to complete my card. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel while you're here. Thanks for watching, friends. Have a wonderful day.